Yep. Bye.
Oh, turn on stream sound, please. Desktop audio, Raheem.
Are we on?
Okay, sick. I
Ooh,
hear.
we're on
Can
indeed.
you
All right,
hear
Red
me,
Lightning,
fellow?
reintroduce us, please.
It is I, Red Lightning, here with my glorious co-caster, Wandon.
Brandon Willis Wisher Washington the second. That's me. It was
We're
more
here.
enthusiastic the first time, but this is what you're getting this time.
Yeah, we've been casting for 5 minutes already. It's fine. Nobody heard it. It doesn't matter. We're gonna pretend you did. Quick rundown. Sodalist Warwick is not picked by Sodalist, but it is picked by Gragas Appa.
Lucian mid. They're actually kind of taking my advice. It's Lucian mid. Sejuani playing Lucian Summoner spell and banning Blue Blanc, which is in my opinion one of the good matchups in Delusion. Like that's what I normally play into him. And they're really putting a lot of the carry potential in the hands of Big Ichi and not putting him on Luke, which I literally kept me up at night. So
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they should be doing. I believe Big Ichi his first game after returning from the Himalayas, clapped Forehead 2.0 single-handedly almost. And then in the next
no,
game
almost
directly
about it.
after, stuck him on Lulu mid.
Yeah, and honestly, that was extremely disappointing.
It's
But
sad.
Apes saving counter pick for mid, and I would prefer it if they picked their mid there. Unless they were afraid of Caitlyn Braum getting banned, they probably should have picked their mid earlier because they should know that's Lucian.
They
Mr.
could be
Bottom 3
fooled.
ADC is not.
Gonna play
He's
Lucian.
not gonna play. He's not gonna play Lucian. Like it's just
No, they have locked themselves into a full AD team though, which
Luke
isn't.
Gang is saving ADC pick for last just to say like, haha. Like if Apes falls for the bait of they haven't picked their mid yet, then come on.
Yeah, I think WooLoo Games kind of trapped himself. If you're Apes right now, I like the Renekton, but I would have actually gone for something even tankier, like from Dog. It is your best player, so you don't really necessarily want to stick him on a tank, but just against a team that's probably going to end up being a full AD team here, I think
That
getting as much
Syndra pick is very,
beef
very
bad.
good.
Oh, really?
Good. Syndra is not awful in Illusion, right?
I know
not the
she
worst.
can burst him out with her ult, but if she ever misses her stun,
She
she's
can,
kind
as
of
long as she holds
dead.
stun. If you hold stun, you can survive the win.
Yeah.
But what it really is, it's a pick away, because that means you can't Syndra ADC on the side of WooLoo.
True.
Because they're gonna lock Cassio, they were probably thinking of picking Syndra ADC.
True. I like the takeaway. I like the pick. It's not. I don't know. Normally you play Syndra to kind of win your lane, but against Lucian,
I think they're actually in a good position here because Apes won this draft because what happens is Lucian can't uber destroy Syndra. It's not Orianna. He can't just run her down.
True.
And if they swap Lucian down to the bot lane and put Cassio mid, Syndra beats Cassio and Caitlyn beats Lucian.
Ooh, my game sound is way too high. Gotta fix that.
So,
but yeah,
Wisher,
either way,
I need you to confirm that we are playing Lulu ADC in our next VCU match. I hate you, Tony.
Yeah, let's hope not. I mean, honestly, I don't think Lulu is like a terrible pick or anything, but I don't want to see.
You want to see
Mr.
two
Big
jokers
Ichi,
on Nunu, not Big Ichi.
Especially after such a good game. Like he had such an awesome carry performance, and then he just says, "Lulu, what?" And
Lulu gang, their draft here is their early game is really bad if they can't get the Lucian going.
I mean, he is their whole early game. I mean,
Entirely.
Honestly, you could still, this could. I don't think it is because I don't think bottom 3 ADC plays Lucian, but you could still be big braining here and have Lucian go bot and Cass mid.
That's really, but alright, Cassio loses to Syndra and Lucian loses to Caitlyn.
Yeah, big time. So I mean, I don't think you should do that.
I think that is
you could.
That's actually worse.
I just think you could do that.
And they have no prio lanes for a jungle that already has been like the scouting report on Ben is that he's not gonna pressure enemy lanes at all.
Yeah, he's not the scouting report. Can do it either. Sejuani can't really pressure a Warwick in the jungle, and is not gonna have a hard time ganking these lanes. You don't have.
Syndra's pretty good against Sejuani. She's pretty safe in ganks in general. It is Big Ichi on Cassio, and I think that is bad. I think they kind of chickened out when they saw the Syndra pick.
They could still swap it around. Just because they lock it in doesn't mean they still don't have the pick. They could still be trying to big brain them into thinking Cassio's mid actually and not bot.
Indeed.
I don't really like Cassio into the Caitlyn either personally. I think
Me
Cassio's
neither.
actually a really good ADC, but
Not in the
or a
Caitlyn.
PC. But yeah, not in the Kate. You get outranged big time. It's really good when you have a melee support like Alistar, because if your support can lock them down, it's actually just free. If they initiate with the crowd control, then you can throw your miasma on top of them, and there's nothing they can do to counter that. But how is Alistar going to ever get in range of that Caitlyn?
You know the interaction with Braum, Shield, and Cassiopeia ulti?
I do not know that interaction.
Because if Braum Shield blocks Cassio, like if he's the only one that gets stunned, that's kind of a big.
I don't think it would. I don't think Yasuo Windwall doesn't block Cassio ult. I don't think it's a
I think what's
projectile.
happening here, a lot of the issue is they're putting a lot of. Cassio's never going to do anything in the Caitlyn Braum lane. It's basically all on Sax Muffin on the Alistar, and that's putting a lot of pressure on a player that's not
Up
like
swap.
your.
Swap comes in.
Yeah, there it is. So yeah, it's what I originally thought. Lucian mid, Cassio ADC, but if we're talking about who wins draft, I think blue team wins draft.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think they've got a winning top lane. Shen's pretty strong early, but I think the dog is a really good laner, and Renekton can still bully that lane. I think they got a winning jungle pick. Actually, I don't think Gragas is super good. Not Grog. I'm reading his name. I don't think Warwick is super good and competitive, but into tanks like Sejuani, he's actually pretty decent. She has no real like threat onto him because he's through his
Also,
healing. He's actually just straight up tankier than her.
a lot of the reason that Lucian viable in the mid lane is because of one, his prio, which Syndra can get. I don't think this Syndra. I don't think two Jokers will get over. And two, like he can side lane very well.
Yeah,
But Lucian does not beat Renekton. Lucian beats a lot of melee champions, and Renekton is not one.
that's not
Renekton
not
one
what you
shots
want.
him. Renekton literally one shots him, and there's not a lot of counterplay to it. From my experience, and I played a whole lot of. I've been playing like a whole lot of Lucian mid recently, and I stay away from Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, as an ADC, if he ever touches you, you're just gonna die.
You drop. You're stun
There's
locked
nothing
the
you
whole
can
time.
do. You don't have the counterplay there. I mean, I guess you could you could try to kite him out with like a Bork, but if he's got
I actually
flash,
would have
doesn't matter.
liked like Echo, because Echo's like the old school Syndra pick, or picking a Syndra, right?
Yeah,
Like I think Echo here, which Big E's proficient on, and other teams just simply aren't banning against.
but they
Like I
did
don't.
take the Lucian first though, so they had already kind of decided to
Oh yeah,
pick
they
Lucian
decided.
mid before they locked in Syndra. They could have sent it bot and then given him the Echo. That's kind of like what you do with the flex picks to try to get yourself a better matchup.
Yeah,
But
like
that locks them into a Lucian Alistar lane against Kate Braum, which is probably a
awful.
pretty hard losing bot lane.
So this plan seems very like the scouting report on two Jokers is that he's gonna play like they banned
TF.
LeBlanc and TF, but the next up is Syndra. He's like you should know that he's gonna pick Syndra.
I think I don't know why they banned TF personally.
Me neither.
I think two
Lucian
Jokers twisted.
absolutely dicks down TF.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. I mean, I think two Jokers Twisted Fate has actually looked really good. I think he's
You
been
go
playing at
Blistering
above a
Cleanse
gold
and he
level.
cannot fight you.
Yeah, I think two Jokers has played above a gold level on his TF, but yeah, I mean TF is. I don't think TF's in a super amazing spot actually right now. After the two nerfs he got, I don't think he's very good unless you're a pro player.
Death ban is a bit questionable.
Yeah, I mean they're doing it just as a target ban towards him, just because they're like keep him off his most comfortable champ. But he has shown he's willing to literally just lock TF into any matchup. He's locked it every game, no matter what, without blind
If it's not
usually.
banned. Like and the next up is LeBlanc and Syndra. So you knew the Syndra pick was coming, and you could have even you had counter pick on this side too. So you could
Yeah,
either counter pick the Echo or you could have picked it really early.
they could have picked the Syndra where they got. I think they picked Shen and Sejuani in the same rounds. They could have taken Syndra in the first ban phase, and then actually had like a true flex based on what they show in their bot lane.
Also, the Ash ban instead of Caitlyn is very question. Like, just give them Ash.
Yeah.
What was the problem there? Just give them Ash. What?
True. Either way, I mean, I think both comps are still decent. I like what WooLoo Gang was trying to do. I just
I
don't think
think
it was executed very
they're
well
running
in
into the
draft.
same problem they ran into. Also, Shen has no good ulti targets for Renegade. But like they're running into this same problem I think they ran into versus Washington League Ball, and they're trying to brain way too hard.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
this is VCU LCS, you don't have to. We're seeing 2 exhausts mid lane. I think exhausts. Lucian with exhaust is fine because if he can stop the Syndra ulti damage, he just instantly win. Syndra with exhaust, I think that's okay actually. Just a bit resident sleeper.
Yeah, it stops attack speed from Lucian, so that's nice. Uh,
Lucian doesn't really need attack speed. It's
yeah,
more
I mean,
about the
I'd probably rather actually see something
exhausting is
different than
you're
exhaust.
mostly exhausting him for pulling, but hopefully if you're Syndra, you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I
You're
think
not in range
if you
too.
need the slow to get away from Lucian as Syndra, then you're probably just dead.
Yeah.
I think you just take heal, speed yourself up, or
There's
barrier
a
if you're worried about it.
cleanse Cassio, and I think that's troll.
Yeah, who are you cleansing? You're cleansing the stun from Syndra, or a trap from Kate. If Dog's on hitting you with his
If you get stunned by
you've
Syndra,
already
you're
fucked
probably
up.
the damage is enough, honestly.
Yeah. If you get stunned by any of these champs, honestly, you're probably
It's
already dead.
exhaust in the bot lane as well for Sax Muffin on Alistar. I think
They have no
exhaust on
threat.
Alistar might be the most giga troll thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, they have no
because
threat anywhere. They don't have a threat on this map in the early game at all. Honestly, I don't think anymore. Like, I would think the Lucian mid would be good enough into Syndra to.
Ooh, wow. What's with red team and getting beaten by Boris?
I don't know.
Longsword, 3 health pots on Lucian.
Yeah, I don't like the mana
You
crystal
see-
start on Cassio either.
Yep, both of them. Both of them is bad.
I think they're just gonna get bodied. Like, I feel, how do you play?
I just saying, like, okay, you can play to give up the lane, but you can't just like say, "Oh, I'm giving up completely," because then you're just going to get mollywopped.
Yeah, if you get, I mean, playing for late game scaling is a legitimate strategy. And I think in VCLCS, with the
Oh
level of
no,
play, it's
Two
actually like
jokers.
good, but not. You can't give up. You can't pick 3 losing lanes, a losing jungle matchup, and then say we're playing for late. You're just not gonna win.
Mhm.
You need to
Especially
have
playing
some
for
form
late
of
with
pressure.
Lucian.
Yeah,
And if you're going longsword start, you're probably not going the man immune Lucian build, which in my opinion is hands down the best one.
I think so too. I think Man Immune's just actually really good on most ADC champs.
Lucian is zoning Syndra. That's how it should go for the first couple levels. One
I
thing
mean,
I will
at least
say,
you got
though,
that pressure point in the mid lane. I mean, that gives you something. I don't think Lucian wins that hard enough to really be like, I don't know, extreme. To be enough basically to counteract how bad they're gonna lose every other position on the map.
I think it's a lot of this game is up to Big Ichi making hero plays.
It has to be. I mean, this bot lane won't have a push ever. Period.
And
Cassio's wave clear is not good enough.
Ooh, Stack's taking a lot of damage. But like,
I think
Ben
that's
is
gonna
actually
be the
coming
rest
down
of
for
the
a
game.
gank. Ben is coming down for a gank. We got a flash, pulverize, not going through from Sax Muffin. Those sums coming out of 9 IQ player. He probably should drop here.
I think he actually lives.
No, the flash
actually,
comes
the
through
flash
from-
from bottom 3 ADC. They
Gets
couldn't
the
make it off.
kill. It was actually a good headbutt, and they're gonna get both of them. That's a good kill and a good gank by Ben.
What?
The cleanse indeed came through. He doesn't have heal.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Warwick coming in for a gank on a big EG.
Stun misses.
Flash
Actually, that was a
stun.
really good fear from the Warwick.
Not enough though. Syndra missed her own stun.
He
So
burned
she
both
could actually follow up.
Those sums out of Big Ichi makes Lucian deceptively vulnerable, especially with no Doran's Blade. That's no lifesteal and no health, no extra health.
Good gank bot lane. I'm proud of Sodalis for finding that on the pushed up lane. I don't think it changes that much actually.
The issue with ganking lanes is like once you gank a lane, you have to do something. Like the lane has to do something after.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think it matters that Cassio's gets her tier here kind of early. I think she's still gonna be.
That's a very interesting buy. Like what happens when you're buying tier like that is that like sure you get it earlier, but especially on champions that get tier first, like you're not playing Cassid and you're not rushing Roa, I think you really need combat stats, especially in a lane like this.
Actually, straight up on Cassio, I don't think you need like Cassio's damage is actually strong enough to where I don't think tier is a
Yeah,
bad
but you're
start.
too low. You have the gold to buy combat stats, and you're opting into saying the lane's still even.
Yeah, I mean, I think this actually, I don't think that actually makes the lane even. With Cassio, with the extra mana, I mean, that's really what it comes to. I was surprised that bottom 3 ADC was able to have enough mana actually to hit. I think Presence of Mind came in pretty hard.
A return gank coming in bot lane.
No flashes on either of these guys, so they're
Yeah,
just going to be able to
he's
pick
gonna
up
drop.
Aoshimon.
That's a killing spree. They're gonna get some damage on the 9 IQ. I don't think he's gonna drop here.
No, he can't get the Sejuani stun.
Just
Or
kind of
he
standing
can.
still though.
This is actually a lot of pressure in the WooLoo gang bot lane.
I guess if you yell at Ben to gank enough, he will eventually do it.
Yeah, it gets the Cassio actually pretty fed here. She still, like you said, doesn't have any combat stats, but I just think the mana actually is a combat stat. In the early game for Cassio, if you can't spam your E, you can't do damage. And just having the mana to be able to do that actually lets you out DPS most other champs.
I was more thinking about just getting the straight up lost chapter.
That's fine too. She really just wants the tier stacking earlier, I guess, but the tier doesn't stack as much till you finish the item anyway, so
Yeah.
the lost chapter is probably just a better straight up
I think he
purchase
should be
early.
dashing in. It looks like he's going Essence Reaver. I don't think Essence Reaver first is bad. It's just very expensive.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it either. I think Mana Immune just gives you a lot more.
I would agree. Manamune is better.
And you're gonna be spamming kind of your like you're almost playing Lucian. Did miss the cannon. You're almost playing Lucian caster into this lane. Like if you're dashing forward to be into auto attack range on Syndra, you're putting yourself at a lot of risk of just taking the stun full combo, and just
Manamune lets you
dying.
scale and it takes a lot of the pressure off of playing Lucian.
Yeah, and it lets you spam. You know, just try to poker from range with your Q, with your
It
W.
lets you win off of like CS leads instead of having to kill them over and over again.
Just see, I mean, so far he hasn't been able. He's up a slight bit of CS, but and his summoner spells are coming back up pretty soon, so it's not so bad for him. Good trade from
I
Dog
think
up on proxy.
What we need to be
top
looking
lane.
at is bot lane right now. I think a lot of this comes down to how much bottom 3 ADC can really. Because all the gold's on him right now. So
Yeah.
how much can he really impact the game with all the gold?
This
Talking
isn't
about top lane, the Renekton's winning. It is what it is. It's Renekton versus Shen. Like,
That's what you expect. This isn't a super easy matchup to play.
this might be a kill
Yeah,
going down here. Yeah, there's no flash in the Warwick. No ulti either.
Yeah,
They're
he
played by
just
Big
has to
ET.
kind of stand there and take it.
A double headbutt pulverize going on, but Mr. Bottom 3 ADC is not with him.
No, he gets stunned up. Actually, I
Nine-
think he could have
they
pressed
just-
forward for.
They just backed off. They let him leave.
I think they could have backed off, or could have actually pressed forward had
Ignite
an
was
active
up.
player wanted to.
Ignite was available. I think that's a winnable fight. With that kill on Lucian, that's a I know I've like playing the non-Lucian side of that matchup. Lucian kills someone else other than you. You feel bad. That is
Yeah, he's gonna come back much stronger. It's gonna make your life a whole lot harder.
Ben handing over the blue.
Well done. Good to see a generous jungler.
It's just not looking fantastic.
I'm happy and surprised to see WooLoo Gang with this much of an early lead. Like we literally mentioned. I mean, they don't have winning lanes here, but they're up 2K gold. And I mean, as much as we were memeing earlier, this is honestly some Sodaless jungle diff here.
It is.
I think finding those ganks on the push.
Gotta
up
give
bot
the
lane,
man credit where credit is due. He's winning jungle.
He's winning really hard. I mean, you know, he's down 6 CS, whatever. You're playing against Gragas Appa's Warwick as Sejuani. But he has 3 kill participation, all 3 kills into the bot lane, and is getting his team gold matchups where they shouldn't get any.
Big Ichi with that boo buff is really able to punish Syndra. You see the CS lead thread and expand. It just doesn't look fun.
Yeah, not much she can do here. He
Yep,
can
this
just,
is how you play Lucian. Because now, when your flash is up, the Syndra has to recall.
Warwick is coming in for a gank, but Sodaless is
Sejuani's there to
kinda
counter.
it. This is an easy 2v2 win for
Yep, the ulti comes
Red
through.
side. Flash
The
is
ulti's
up this
out
time,
too
but he still
late.
dies.
Autos go through, and that's double buffs on the Lucian. This game is
Yeah.
looking bad.
And that's flash and your ult again from Warwick. And we saw what happened last time they were both down. Big Ichi just literally walks up and solo kills him in the jungle. And
Full Archangel's coming out for bottom 3 ADC.
yeah, that's early. He's gonna get that stacked up super fast.
We're looking at a pretty decent jungle gap right now.
I mean, it's all jungle gap. Like, I think Big Ichi has played well. Don't get me wrong. He found the solo kill in the Gragas Opa on his own, but especially for the bot lane and for his second kill here. I mean, it's just hard jungle gap. I don't think any of these lanes could win either at all or for the Lucian as hard as he needs to without this huge jungle gap coming in.
Yep.
I mean, he's up CS now as well on the Warwick.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking really good. So this is easily Sodalist's best jungle performance, period.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, this is really good. I'm glad to see it. And WooLoo Gang has definitely struggled, and their early game I think has been the hardest part of their game. They tend to pick late game scaling picks, and then they just get kind of crapped on in the early game, crapped on in the late game, and they can't ever really play. But
I hope they're able to transition a lead though.
They should. I mean, I don't know about their macro. They should be able to based on champions.
Have we seen this team with a lead? Like at 15, have we seen them ever really have a lead?
They had slight gold leads on forehead at certain points of the game.
Dash in,
and I mean slight.
And that red buff is just hurting.
Yeah, 2 Jokers is not happy in this lane. I mean, I'm just saying, just imagine if that was a Twisted Fate. And I think Big Ichi would be 10-0, not 2-0 right now.
Indeed.
I don't think there's anything TF could do against that Lucian. At least Cindric has a stun to kind of dissuade. TF, he has a stun, but it might take him a couple seconds to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, Proxy up here, we haven't really talked about him much on the Shen matchup into Renekton, but he's playing it pretty well. He's down, 25 CS here, but against Dogs Renekton, against the strong, the strongest player on Apes Together Strong, and
ooh, the Sejuani ulti missing.
Yeah.
T-Joker still has flash, so he's gonna be fine. He doesn't even have to burn it. Just a little bit unfortunate.
I think Big Ichi should have used his ult there. I don't know if they would have gotten the kill, but you would have probably forced out Syndra summoners. She took the path to the turret.
After exhausting, just ulti.
Yeah, she took the thin path on the turret, so she can't dodge. She has to take the majority of the ult right there if you just aim it right down the narrow path between the turret and the wall.
And so does the tank. The Rift Shield's gonna drop for blue side.
That's nice.
It looks like red side's just content with just trading the Drake.
Do it, honestly.
Hitting either Earth or Ocean Soul.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can get... Both of these souls are good for you. Mountain Soul, not the best thing in the world, but, nobody's going to say no to a couple more tank stats. But,
they have tanky champions that can benefit off of it, too.
And Ocean Soul's huge. It's already hard to cut through the healing on a Cassiopeia. Now imagine she's got Ocean Soul to go with it.
Shen is going to escape. Well, so do his counter jungle's bot side. Shen's going to TP back, and honestly, this TP back's a bit risky.
It is. He is tanky. He does have his W, so and both these champs are mostly auto attack based, so
he's gonna have to skid the tower. I don't think he'd defend it.
I think he should back up now. You don't want to go in once the turret's low. They could kill the turret and then dive you after. Luckily, the turret has just enough health back where he can take the trade, knock down Warwick low, and then walk away.
The Renekton does get the solo gold on it.
Yeah, that's scary, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think Shen should really be feeling that much pressure. I think he should be building some armor, and he'll be all right. He's gonna go Titanic.
I do question is the Black Cleaver rush on Renekton. I think Blade is just, especially when Proxy the Shen has no armor right now. I think Blade is better. We do have a fight coming down bot lane. The flash pulverized headbutt coming in. This is going to be a 3v3, a 4v3 as Shen comes in, and Renekton's going to drop. Yep. The good Sejuani ulti. Braum's going to sacrifice his life. 9AQ should just run, and we're going to have a solo kill mid lane.
Kills all over the map. This might be the delayed ace here. It is going to be the delayed, or not quite. Gragas Opa is just farming in his top side, so he's the only player on blue side to not be involved in any kind of fight. Does survive, but across the map, it's a 4-for-0 being punished in the bot lane and the mid lane. Now we're out to a 3,000 gold lead for the side of WooLoo Gang, and that's with first turret having gone down. So they are off to a great start.
This is you're getting into what I would call like throw territory. The only way you win. Oh, that's a kill again. Yep.
Oh, no.
You got the crits.
Not good for this Warwick. Every time he sees Lucian, he's died.
Yep. But we're getting to what I like to call throw territory. The game is only really winnable if the other team fucks up.
It could definitely happen.
This is
we haven't seen
VCLCS.
them. Haven't seen them had to fight around any like objective that's been contested. Both dragons have been free, just given over, and Baron hasn't spawned yet. That still doesn't
This is
spawn
looking
for
like
another
Tilt.
5 minutes.
This is looking like Tilt from Dog and 2 Jokers, just going for the play, knowing he has shut down on him. No real chance you kill him.
I mean, definitely not. It is a little bit sus. I don't like the
The
attack
red buff
speed
going
boots.
over to the Lucian as well.
True. I don't like the attack speed boots on Lucian. I think he should have gone for Merc Treads.
Lucian does not need attack speed as a
No,
stat.
doesn't need it at all. And like, what are you worried about here for if you're the Lucian? I mean, Ninja Tabby if you're worried about getting one shot by Renekton, but he's not really ahead, and I think you're strong enough where you can probably kite away.
And
from
all he
him.
has is Cleaver.
Yeah, and I think what you're really worried about is getting hit with a Syndra stun and Syndra ult.
Being 100 to 0'd.
And both Merc Treads are good against both of those things.
The Syndra stun
does miss his
misses.
stun,
Exhaust going out, headbutt away. Sejuani ulti and Syndra's gonna go down. Stepped way too far.
and Lucian damage.
The culling's gonna go all the way in. It's gonna be another kill. This is looking like things fall apart.
I mean,
I'm glad.
I'm glad the turret went down because this is looking like a perfect game if they didn't get the first turret.
Mm-hmm. Digichi does get chunked a little bit by 9 IQ player, but also returns the favor.
I'll tell you, I mean, I guess Big Ichi is all they needed. WooLoo Gang pre and post Big Ichi is just a completely different story. I mean, apparently, it's not just him that's playing better. I mentioned this a little bit last night during the Forehead 2.0 game, and honestly against the Washington League Ball team. I mean, I don't think they did lose that game, but I don't think they all played bad by any means. I think the other members of WooLoo Gang are legitimately playing much better now that Big Ichi's on the team than they were beforehand. I think just having their actual team, without their top laner, they got a new top laner, but having their actual full 5-man roster is enough just to make them all feel more comfortable.
They are playing inspired League of Legends.
This is true.
Warwick. Good fear. Shen's probably gonna drop here.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Ulti
flash
coming
there.
through from Renekton, and the Warwick gets the kill. I think that's a big faux pas from there. I think
No,
you
you want
need to
that
get
from
these kills on
Renekton.
Renekton.
Shen probably could have gotten out there, but he used his flash when Warwick still had his Q up, and that's something you can't really do against Warwick because he can follow through your flash. So
The crazy
something
thing
to be
is,
aware of.
normally I'd say blue team outscales, but in order for that to happen, like, they need to play it correctly. I don't think they have. This is VCLCS, and I think them playing it correctly is a bit too much to ask. I think when you have Fed Big Ichi, like, Fed Cassio, with 2 items, 2 full items, you're in almost too big to fail territory.
I don't even think blue side outscales significantly here. I mean, I think they're a little bit stronger in late game. I think they're definitely easier to execute, but in a late game team fight, I mean, the Caitlyn's longer range, but Cassiopeia's late game damage is nothing to scoff at.
I think the
Wow,
condition
Syndra-
for them outscaling is a lot on the Syndra.
Yeah, Syndra can one-shot always, especially in the late game, but consistent DPS-wise, it's still going to be Lucian. I think Syndra might have more impact on the team fight, but Lucian is still an ADC, even if he's one of the less hard-scaling ones.
Lucian is
so,
at 2 full crit items now.
Yeah, he's going to hurt. Nobody really has any significant armor.
I'm going down in the
side.
sack muffin. The
all
shield comes
coming
through,
in.
and this counter engage is going to hurt.
It's a good brawl malt here in this small corridor. Saxmuffin's going to get a little bit too deep. He's actually going to probably go down here.
No one from blue side has dropped yet. Cassio ulti does stun too. Oh, this
There's
kite back. This is 3 for 0.
You got to be careful, though. I
Big
think
Ichi
Cassiopea
is in
just
fact
wins
present
this.
now. I think at this point you cut your losses.
Yeah, Gragas
Or take your win. You take your win if you're blue side, not cut your losses.
Please back
Take
off.
your win.
If you kite into that Cassiopeia, it's a little scary. I think this is something that that red side has a problem with. They have a hard time engaging the fights. I mean, Sejuani ult's nice. They're going for Baron here. That is a
This is
2-man
Rift Herald.
Baron
This
attempt.
is Rift
Oh,
Herald.
no, Rift Herald, my bad. 9
Oh.
IQ player. That was a 9 IQ play.
In.
And it looks like Coyote's going to flash away from that
no.
as well.
Oh no.
Dog just has to leave here. He can't one-shot Big Ichi.
Now you see, when you'd walk into a player and don't fight back, can't expect to win the fight.
Yeah, I was just in the middle of saying, red side, despite being super far ahead, doesn't have a ton of good engage tools. The Sejuani ult's nice,
That was confusing to me.
but when you're kiting into the Braum ult, like in a small corridor, it's hard for champs like Cassiopeia to get in range to actually do DPS, which we saw there when they ended up losing the fight. But then blue side comes right back into them and
They just, you know,
walks in and gives them free damage.
ants go marching in one by one.
Yeah, you just discovered that if you're kiting away, you can actually take fights and perhaps go even to win them if you play well. And then you decide to just engage instantly.
This engage is a bit ambitious. They do
Yeah, I
have
don't think
Syndra
this
coming
works.
in, but the stun
This is
hits
the
on
stun.
only the Sejuani. Oh, that was a great dodge by Gragas on this Cassio ulti. That was actually like really
Sedge
good.
stun, though.
Just turn on the Sedge if I'm Gragas Opie. This is a bit yeah, this is a bit over
Yeah.
chase. He got the dodge and he wanted to make the play.
Yeah, Gragas Opa, I mean, this Cassiopeia has no business dying to anything that's not a Syndra ult at this point in the game, honestly. I mean, maybe Renekton's combo could kill her, but with all the healing that she's got, especially against a champ like Warwick, who does damage, but not enough to threaten her too much, and is tanky enough where she can heal, you're never going to kill that Cassiopeia by yourself. So just turn around, take your victory on Sodalist, and get away 1-for-0 instead of 1-for-1.
I mean, their team name is Apes Together Strong, but they just insist on being separate.
True. I think you're a little bit scared if you're Apes, especially because your Caitlyn is just actually so far behind. Not just the Cassiopeia, but just in the game in general.
We talked a lot about Ben having disappointing performances, and a lot of that comes from the fact that he is actually like he should be one of the, if not the best jungle in VCU LCS. Like it should be realistic, like him, Regidice, and
There's actually a
Bambi
lot
Cinder.
of good jungle competition in this.
But it really
tournament.
should, like, those are the 3 jungle mains. These are the people that are maining jungle that play it. So in my eyes, it should be those people top 3. And I think Bambi Cinder has underperformed a little bit, but Ben has, or Sodalist has significantly underperformed. So it's good to see him play well this game, but also another player I think has underperformed is 9IQ player.
Oh, big time. This game especially.
This is the first round pick. He is supposed to be the team's secondary carry, and in almost none of their games has he really seemed like a force to be reckoned with. He hasn't really been a force in the lane. In team fights, he's looked like every other ADC, which he shouldn't. He should stand out. So
Yeah, they had a hard winning bot lane here, which is the worst thing. They just hard smacked that lane, especially early, but they pushed up and they could not keep track of Sodalist. And one gank, Sodalist comes in and gets a kill. Actually, we're gonna have to pause that. Sodalist does go in here, already gonna stun up this Renekton,
diving in,
burn down,
getting a big heal, but the culling is going to evaporate the Warwick. Double kill going on to the Cassio. This fight should be doomed.
Yeah, big.
Give him the quadra. Give him the quadra. There's the quadra. Looking for the penta.
Give
bottom 3 ADC his penta.
They can catch him. They can catch
Give
him.
him the penta. Give him the penta. Penta kill.
Bottom 3 ADC.
ADC.
Penta kill,
Ocean
Ocean
Soul.
Soul.
8,000 gold lead.
Go get the
Question
Baron.
marks in chat.
Bottom
This
3.
game could end right here.
Bottom 3 ADC. Number 1 APC. He is feeling himself this game.
It's good to see another team bring out the mage bots because they do work.
Full 5,000 gold up on this Caitlyn. And Big Ichi's 4.5 on Syndra.
Looking at your 2 carries, perfect games.
Yeah.
25 Medjai stacks.
That's devastating. If you
Ocean Soul.
Apes.
Now I gotta say this game's looking very, very out of reach. If you're Apes Together Strong.
I mean, it's nearly a 10k gold lead at 23 minutes. This is early into the game. 10k gold lead and Ocean Soul, which I don't even know how much gold Ocean Soul is worth, but that's quite a few Ks right there as well, in my opinion. You're probably gonna grab the Baron and make this over a 10k lead right here. I mean, there's not much you can do, and once again, I don't think they outscale hard enough on blue side to even like.
Oh no, not at this point anymore. Not even close.
You're not sitting around with the hope like, hey, if we keep stalling out, we outscale.
Renekton's getting beaten by Boris.
Yeah, like Renekton, Syndra.
Never saw any armor out of the Syndra. Caitlyn has 1 item still.
Yeah.
And boot.
Yeah. It feels bad. Big Ichi sitting on 3.
8,000 of their gold lead is on, guess who? Big Ichi in bottom 3.
Oh yeah, easily. It's
Oh, he's dead.
probably
Yep.
closer to 9.
He's dead.
Especially
Bye-bye.
if they kill. Yeah, was that 2 autos and a Q? I'm pretty sure is what killed
Yes.
him.
I mean, when you're that fed, he's up how many levels? Like 4 on
Yeah,
on him.
he's up 3 levels, or 4 levels on 9 IQ player, and you know, 2 full items and a QSS.
Cullen's gonna evaporate him.
5th culling of the game, probably.
Yeah.
QSS to keep him out of the stun.
That should
Dog's
be
gonna die here
pretty
too.
much all she wrote. 20, 0, and 12 from the mid-bot duo, Big Ichi and bottom 3 ADC. I have no idea why he ever put this man on WooLoo.
This is insane. This is a wake-up call to every team in the tournament. If your game against Forehead 2.0 yesterday wasn't, this game, you know, after losing a league ball, that could have been a fluke, but this is showing that they're not a fluke.
That wasn't no fluke, I'm not gonna lie.
This is probably the most dominant game we've seen that
wasn't from
that wasn't against them.
It wasn't against them.
Yeah, this is probably the
Yes,
most
sir.
dominant game of the tournament that wasn't another team gapping them before Big Ichi came in.
Indeed.
That was a. I mean, I'm shocked to see it from what literally less than a day ago we all considered to be the worst team in the tournament, and now within 2 days, within 2 days of having Big Ichi come back, you're now 2-1 against, you know, some decent teams. I mean, I don't think Apes Together Strong there is a bad team. That we saw them beat Ramley the other day, and they've also defeated Forehead 2.0. So those aren't by any means like, you know,
in my opinion, this 5th spot, like the 6th spot for playoffs. My bad, 5th, because top 5 making it is wide fucking open.
Oh, I think any team could get it.
Literally any of the teams that are currently between like below Sim Squad and just below Sim Squad could get it.
Very true. I mean, if you're just looking at the standings right now, Sim Squad's currently in that 4th spot. They're 3-1. We have a couple of 4-win teams. Sim Squad is 3-1. Forehead 2.0 is now 2-3. Ramley is 2-3. Gum Squad's 1-3. Apes Together is now 1-4, I believe. WooLoo Gang is now 2-4, while Bambi's Baskets is the only team sitting without a win.
That's tough.
But it is tough. To give a little bit of a shout out to Bambi's Baskets, I do think they had the hardest schedule to start the tournament.
Did you shout out yourself?
Yes. Yes.
All right. I do want to get an interview in here, and I think you know who I want.
I think it has to be Big Ichi, even though we did see.
Fuck
Actually, no.
No, I want bottom 3 ADC,
bottom
Mr.
3
Pentacle
ADC.
himself.
You're right. We had Big Ichi yesterday.
Where is he? I'm gonna message him.
Give us bottom 3 ADC. I need to know how he did this. I think the correct word would be jungle diff, but still, gotta hear
in
from
the
him.
Jiffy.
Hello.
Bottom 3 ADC. How do you feel?
Good. Feels kind of nice after that one.
So you guys with Big Ichi are now a total of 2-1.
Yes.
I believe next on your schedule, you guys play. You play Gump Squad and Bambi's Baskets, and if you look at the standings, that's a
We're
that's a
looking at 4-1.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy week.
I don't know.
Are you guys
Bambi's
looking
Basket's looking like a really good team. I don't know if that's
Yeah. So
I will
the
say
top 5 lock playoffs. Do you guys think you can reach that top 5?
yes. With Proxy in top, yes.
You do?
Yes.
Hands down.
So do you think
hands down is a little tough, but I think we do keep the run going. The 0-3 start, the 0-3 start is a little rough, but I think we'll at least.
You have
finish out
3 games
4-4.
left that you have 3 games left. You play Gum Squad, Bambi's Baskets, and Ramley. What do you think you go in those games?
At worst, 2-1.
At worst, 2-1. Who's your loss?
What do you think I'm gonna say?
I don't know.
Bambi's Baskets.
He better say Bambi's Baskets.
Okay.
Bambi's Baskets looking hot, dude.
So WooLoo Gang, Simper Stanch, bottom 3 ADC, Kyle. He's putting the rest of VCU LCS on notice.
Hey,
He's saying that playoff spot, mine.
All All I'm saying, I was not looking like a bottom 3 ADC that one.
No,
Definitely
you were
not that
not.
game.
When I'm spoon fed the lane thanks to 5 jungle ganks in as many minutes, yeah, it's feeling good.
What I want to talk about a little bit here is you've now had 2 different players uh, change throughout the season. Not only have you had a different mid laner come in now, your top laner has recently been replaced. What's it been like to play with a couple of different guys? And is that is that the reason you guys are now suddenly getting the wins? Did it kind of energize you?
Our play style definitely varies now as of just with general play style. I mean, with Ichi, we can you've already seen it. We can play more aggressively around Ben. It's not Ben having to play the entire map and almost babysit everyone. Um, it's opened up more picks, more compositional picks like this, where Ichi can flex onto the Lucian and I can pull out the Cassio. Um, and it's just like, especially now, this was only a 1 game sample size. We have not played with Proxy before this matchup, and kind of just threw him on, you know, Shen duty. So for standard meta stuff for that. But I mean, even then, that provided so much security for us. You could even see again, we were just so much more aggressive this game than we were in the past because all he did was say, "Okay, ult's up, go ahead, do whatever the fuck you want."
It was very good. I mean, I think that was actually an underrated performance from Proxy. I mean, Dog is one of the better players in the tournament, and he's really the point of power for Apes Together Strong. But kind of just stonewalled here against Proxy. Got a CS lead, but not enough to really impact the map. And then the other spot I thought was going to be pretty doomed. Your team was all scaling, but 9 IQ player and Kyoshimon could not take advantage of their winning matchup because Mr. Sodalist just diffed Jiffy in the Jiffied all over that bot lane.
Yeah, he definitely set up shop down there, threw down the tent, and
Mhm.
helped us out. So it also kind of helped me that the Braum was not positioning aggressively at all. Going into that one, I was telling my support that we kind of win 2v2 as long as the Braum does not sit on top of me. Uh, and he decided to play behind the Caitlyn the entire lane phase. So that definitely also worked in our favor.
True.
But
So we do have a second game to get into.
yeah,
So we're gonna have to cut this interview
all
at this
good.
point. But shout out to WooLoo Gang putting the rest of the league on notice, saying really that they want that locked in playoff spot
This makes this
for
league
sure.
so much more competitive, in my opinion, and I'm really excited that you guys finally kind of got your act together and got some good wins out here. So congratulations on that. I look forward. I actually, unironically, look forward to watching WooLoo Gang play the rest of their games.
Thank you.
Indeed.
I would like to, yeah, I would like to add to that. I think we bring a whole lot of aggression that a lot of other teams are not totally bringing right now because we want to play Vladimir and sit in lane for 25 minutes against the Lulu.
Hey, you picked the fucking Lulu.
Hey, I'm just saying. Um, so
And
we
we
do
ended that
bring a
game in
lot of aggression
28.
that a lot of other teams are not bringing, and I am very much looking forward to showing other teams what that aggression can do because we have now completely flipped it from being the enter team to slamming face into people.
Done. And I think that's going to do it for this interview. We're going to move into the next game. But once again, congratulations and look forward to seeing you again.